Hey, hello, my dear students. Hope you all are very fine. And this is my first class. I'm here. So you are thinking, must be you are thinking that ma'am is here means this is English class. Let's see which class I'm taking. And congratulations to all of you that you are now in class 7 successfully. And hopefully you all have collected your books from the school. So today what I'm going to teach is a part of your social studies. There are three books. How many books are there? Three books. One is the geography, second is the history, and third one is the civics. So today I will work on a chapter of history. Okay, so the first chapter definitely that is the tracing changes through a thousand years. Tracing changes through a thousand years. As it is history, with the history you can find a similar word or rhyming word, that is mystery. History is quite mystery, you can say, because history refers to the time or timeline. It has a chronological order. As we are reading the history, you have to understand how or why the chronology is there and how chronologically the history has updated itself. Okay, and with this history there is another word that you need to know, that is you can say a historian. Historian, who is a historian? A particular person who is writing about or writing the accounts of important events of a particular time. They are known as history. As the historians are there, so we are able to understand about the Harappan civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilization. Hopefully you have remembered that in class 6 in GK class I have one day I discussed about these things, that how the things are happening. So none of us are belong to that time or that particular time, but still we can understand these things. We are able to know these things for these historians. Okay, so as I have already talked about the Harappan civilization, now you can say that Harappan civilization, during the time of Harappan civilization, whatever I have said about the town planning, about the great bath or anything, nowadays there is a huge changes is there. Okay, things are not like that before, because as I said that history updates itself after a certain period of time. Means uh, the way we are now, if we go back to our memory lane, then 500 or 700 years ago the things were not like that. Okay, so um, we have to understand how history is working actually. So in your book there is a first introduction is there, and after that introduction one topic, one by one topic wise we will proceed for the chapter. So first there are talk the introduction, there are about two maps elaboration is there. Map 1, that was drawn by a cartographer, Arab cartographer, whose name was Al Idrisi. That was done in the year of 1154. A cartographer means a person who makes or makes the map. And the map too, that was also done by someone else, that was in 1720s. So there is a gap between 600 years. If you can see the map 1, in map 1 actually the Indian subcontinent, basically the southern portion of India, means the Deccan Plateau, the Narmada River divide the Binda Parvat and Satpura Parvat has divided the India into two portions. According to that, the northern portion with the Sri Lanka is before the means on the top of the northern portion. Definitely nowadays the map is not like that. So if you follow the second map, then you can understand that that map is quite similar like the map we are following today's. Okay, so how the things are changing as the time is going on, people's knowledge is they are gradually coming to know far more things, and when they are knowing the things, they are updating the things, they are doing the things, they are, in that case, one thing you can't forget, that when you are updating something, first thing is, what was before, first you have to go through that thing, and when you go through that thing, then only you can understand how you can change it. So you have to be connected with the history from that particular period, then only you can changes, as some script are not yet been revealed, so you can understand still the some means those who are very professional, they are trying to reveal what is the actual thing of it in this way. Then what is the need of this, why they are doing this? Because how their lifestyle was that time, also people exist, how their lifestyle was, why they are using that science, what they wanted to mean by it. This is very important us to know. When we will know, we can update ourselves more with the history. Now I'm reading, you follow with me. Take a look at map 1 and 2. Map 1 was made in 1154 CE by the Arab geographer Al-Idrisi. The section reproduced here is a detail of the Indian subcontinent from his large map of the world. Map 2 was made in 1720s by a French cartographer. The two maps are quite different even though they are of same area. In Al Idris's map, South India is where we should expect to find North India, and Sri Lanka is the island at the top. Place names are marked in Arabic. So Arab, he was an Arab cartographer, so definitely he has written in Arabic language, so it is difficult to understand. But now we are going to the next page, and there are some well-known names like Kanauj in Uttar Pradesh. Within bracket, the spelling of Kanauj in the map, if we see the spelling of Kanauj is starting with K. Now we are writing with K, but at that time it was written in Q, starting with Q instead of K. That was the change, but the name is same. Okay. Map 2 was made nearly 600 years after Map 1, during which time information about the subcontinent has changed considerably. The map seems more familiar to us, and the coastal areas in particular are surprisingly detailed. The map was used by European sailors and merchants on their voyages. So you can understand that within these 600 years, so many things changed, that the map itself is changed. So placement of the subcontinent, the Sri Lanka was different in the year of 1154, but after 600 years, when the again the update is there, that map is quite similar to us now, and the European sailors merchant used this map, means the map too, for their voyages. Page number 3. Equally important, we are still going through the introduction. Okay, in page number 3, there is equally important is the fact that the science of cartography differed in the two periods. When historians read documents, maps and text from the past, they have to be sensitive to the different historical backgrounds, the context in which the information about the past was produced. Okay, so here introduction is complete. Now what I was telling, that you have to know, we have to know, historians have to know that about which time we are talking, and that time what was the lifestyle of the people, what are the things. And if the time is changing, means era is changing, some years more than 200 years are there, then something also changing. What are the changes? Only then they will be able to understand it, and they can update it. Okay, now the first topic, as I say, topic wise we have I have subdivided. So the topic is new and old terminologies. The topic is new and old terminologies. Now terminologies is a word, okay. Now from the term, for the from the word term, the word terminologies came, it means you can say the body of the term used with a particular technical appreciation of a subject. Means it's not only in grammar. If I am giving you rules, just try to understand. For a grammar I am giving you rules and I am not explaining it, okay. So it is difficult to understand. In the same way, some terms are there, some things are there that you need to know. Now terms are there and elaboration also we need to know. So at first there is also, I have seen that what happened, that the lifestyle, the language, the areas, the geography of a particular area, the name itself Hindustan, the word, everything has changed. In a previous time it was something else, but nowadays the meaning itself has changed with the word. So I'm reading, follow me. If the context in which information is produced changes with time, what about language and meanings? Historical record exists in a variety of languages which have changed considerably over the years. Medieval Persian, for example, is different from modern Persian. The difference is not just with regard to grammar and vocabulary, the meanings of the words also changed over time. So what is there, that suppose before 200 years or 1000 years, the meaning of a word, or we are using, people were using a particular word to refer something, but after 100 or 1000 years the meaning, the word remains same but the meaning is has changed. So that you have to understand, okay. So what at that time, at the beginning, the historians wanted to tell about, that was for that context, for their time period. And for now, when the historians are taking the thing seriously, they have to be sensible and serious about this matter, because they have to understand that the particular word may not be mean the same thing, refer to the same thing that was done previously. So we have to be very careful when we are reading this, and therefore them it is also difficult to do the same thing. Now the next para, take the term Hindustan for example. Today we understand it as India, the modern nation state. When the term was used in 13th century by Minhas e Siraj, a chronicler who wrote in Persian, he meant the areas of Punjab, Haryana, and the lands between Ganga and Amuna. He used the term in a political sense for lands that were a part of the dominions of the Delhi Sultanate. So, Minhaji Siraj, we got the name, who was a chronicler. Chronicler means definitely you can say it, historian. Okay, he said, according to him, if we go the Hindustan, previously now we know that Hindustan means it's Hindi, it's called Hindustan, but in English it is India. India means now it has a political boundary, we know about it's a nation, it's our country. But at previous time, India means Hindustan was not used to refer the whole India now as today. So it was different at that time, as the Minhaji Siraj has mentioned, that the area Punjab, Haryana, and the lands between Ganga and Yamuna, this portion was known only as Hindustan. Then what about the rest of the portion? India is not only that portion, that is a part of the northwest, or yes, northwest, or north and northwest portion. So what about the rest of the portion? Here I'm coming back to the point again. He used the term in a political sense for lands that were a part of the dominion of the Delhi Sultanate. In the Delhi Sultanate period, only that portion, that area was known as the Hindustan. The area included in this term shifted with the extent of the Sultanate, but the term never included South India. After Delhi Sultanate period, the things change afterwards, but Hindustan remains only in the northern portion. It never refers to the southern portion of India. By contrast, in the early 16th century, Babur used Hindustan to describe the geography, the fauna, and the culture of the inhabitants of the subcontinent. But after that, when the Mughal periods was there, then that time Babur used the word Hindustan to refer to a geographical condition of a area with its fauna, the lifestyle, means about anything. Fauna means the fauna is definitely about the animals, human beings, those who are living in that area, or the habitat of that habitat. Okay, so you see that the Sultanate period it was something else. Then Sultanate period's latter portion the meaning changed. Then came the when the Mughal periods came. Then the meaning Hindustan is gradually changing. Okay, so in a word is particular, but in the fight said that word is particular, but the meaning is changing in every period or every era. That the historians have to understand that Hindustan, when I'm telling the Hindustan, in which era it was used, they only then they will be able to understand that at that era in Hindustan refers to this. Second, when we are telling about Hindustan, they need to understand, okay, after 17 or 600 years or 700 years, the meaning of Hindustan means this. Without this, the history is incomplete. Okay, now we are coming, as we will see later in the chapter. This was somewhat similar to the way of 14th century poet Amir Khusro used the word Hind. Okay, while the idea of geographical and the cultural entity like India did exist, the term Hindustan did not carry the political and national meaning which was associated with it today. Now Hindustan has a different meaning. Okay, Hindustan means the political background. First of all, we are telling India, not Hindustan, as we are speaking in English or in your mother language. So we are using India. So now India means different in history, in different era, different time period. The meaning was different, that we need to understand. The next we are coming, historians today have to be very careful about the terms they use because they meant different things in the past. Take for example a simple term like foreigner, those who are coming from. Now what do you mean by foreigner? Those who are coming from another land or another yes, another land, another country, or something like that. It is used today to mean someone who is not an Indian. Okay, next page. In medieval period, a foreigner was any stranger who appeared say in a given village, someone who was not a part of that society or culture. So within bracket, afterwards within bracket one sentence is there, be careful with it. In Hindi the term Pardesi might be used as describe such a person in Persia. It's Ajnabi. So in Hindi it is Pardesi, and in Persian it is Ajnabi, means those who are unknown to me. Means now if someone is coming from London, their skin color, their way of talking, their everything, that is quite different from us, we are calling them only foreigner. But in historical background, if we go back to some periods, then we will see that a person, if he is not living in my village or my state, or simply I am living in city and he is living in a village area, rural area, he is coming, then I don't know him or her, then he becomes a foreigner to me. I'm talking about these things about the according to the history. Nowadays it is not like that, but in previous time it was like that. Okay. A city dweller therefore might have regarded a forest dweller as a foreigner, but two peasants living in the same village were not foreigners to each other, even though they may have different religious or caste background. Okay, so what I was telling, that caste doesn't matter, religion doesn't matter. If in history, means in our previous time, if a person is familiar with another person, then okay, no problem, whichever caste, creed, sex, or they belong to, or the job they are doing, no problem. But if they are coming from another land means but another portion of our world, then it's a foreigner. Okay, so nowadays you can say the meaning of the history has quite changed. That was the chronology, and that was the term that we have to keep in mind, that the word in which time period we are using the word, that has a different meaning, and now if we are using that word, that has a different meaning. It refers to different thing that we have to understand. For today we will only after discuss up to this. In our next class we will go further. Till then, the as you are first reading the history, so be very careful, read with me or follow me while I'm reading, and afterwards also 2 or 3 times you have to read, otherwise you can't understand. Okay, so till then, stay safe, stay at home, and go through your studies. And if you haven't collect your book yet, then go to the school, collect your book, because without book you can't see the maps, I can't show you that things, that will be very difficult for you to understand. Okay, hopefully you have understood my words now. Tata.